Hey, you guys. Hey there. It's Kat, the Course Builder here. Thank you so much for over on Periscope, YouTube, Vimeo Live, Instagram, and Facebook Live. Thanks so much for coming in and joining me. And if you are new to me, I am Kat, the Course Builder. I teach coaches and experts how to teach what they know so they can watch their bank accounts grow and stop chasing one client at a time, because ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so listen, today, you guys, it is Three Things Thursday, and I wanted to pop in and give you 3 things that you can do to convert your community to buyers. So go ahead and get your pens and your paper and get ready to take notes. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much over on Periscope. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Feel free to put your comments right in the chat section. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on Facebook, same thing on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. All right. So we're talking about how to convert your communities to buyers. Many of you have communities both online and offline. They're over on Periscope, they're over on Facebook, and you're not really sure how to actually convert those followers into buyers of your courses, your programs, your workshops, your seminars, anything where you are actually teaching people. So I wanted to come in on this Thursday and give you 3 things that you can put into action that you can do right now to get more conversions. Thank you, guys. Hey, thanks so much for popping in. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. All right. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. So here's the issue. Here's the problem. This is what's happening. What's happening is that many communities are cultivating a culture of stagnation as opposed to a culture of conversion. Okay, let me say that again. Many communities are cultivating a culture of stagnation as opposed to a culture of conversion. We want a culture of conversion. And when I say conversion, there are 2 things that I mean by that. Number 1 is converting in terms of monetary conversions, where you're actually getting paid for the courses that you are offering. However, that is not the only conversion to be concerned with. We also want to make sure that our communities are actually converting into the transformational change that they are looking for. Don't forget that people have joined your community because they are looking for transformational change. So you want to also encourage a conversion of conversation, a conversion of mindset, a conversion of emotion. And in order to do that, there are 3 things that you must do. And I'm going to give you those right now. So go ahead, get your pens, get your paper if you haven't already. If you're wondering, how, Kat, do I take my community from stagnation? They're just sitting there. They're just looking at me. I don't know if there is this thing on, you come on and they're not really talking to you. And so I want you to keep 3 things in mind as you are cultivating a culture of conversion. All right. Number 1 is that I want you to be socially curious. You have to be socially curious. Now, if you're anything like me, social media is not really your go-to. I am a Gen Xer, and I'm a Gen Xer to my heart. So what does that mean? That means that I didn't grow up with cell phones. I didn't grow up with pagers even. I didn't grow up with computers in the house. We did have a set of Encyclopedia Britannica, okay? Remember the Encyclopedia man that used to walk up and down the street selling encyclopedias? My Gen Xers and my baby boomers know all about that, right? So I didn't grow up with all of the social media and technology that a lot of the millennials did, and even people who are coming up behind them. And so some of you have to develop a social curiosity. That means that you have to be willing and able to go into your community and learn about the people who are there. Yeah, you can't just go in there and post, and you can't just go in there and even just go live. Remember that this whole thing is about relationship. That you have to start building a relationship with your folks. And you don't want to wait for them to reach out to you. You need to be ready and willing to reach out to them. They are waiting for you to take a leadership role and be socially curious about who they are, why they're there, what are they looking for right now, how you can help them, what they've tried in the past. You want to be curious about what they're doing. Now, how do you show that you're being curious? You're going to go into your group and interact with the people who are there. Encourage them, invite them to have conversation and dialogue with you on and offline. Bring your people offline. Set up a Zoom meeting and bring them in. Have a panel discussion about what's actually going on with them. That's going to solve a couple of things. Number one, it's going to give them an opportunity to actually interact with you and see how brilliant you are and see that you are really the person who is going to help them. All right, it's going to bring them out. And number two, what it's going to do is it is going to separate out the action takers from the people who are still kicking tires, okay? So you want to be able to identify the people who are ready for that conversion of transformational change. All right, they are going to convert monetarily as well, but first they have to see that you are an agent of change and that you can help them get to where they're wanting to be. So in order to do all of that, you have to be curious about who your people are and then act on it. All right, that's number one. We are cultivating a community of conversion instead of a community of stagnation. This is how you're going to convert your community into buyers eventually, okay? But you've got to want to know about them and get to know them. All right, that's number one. Number two is you have to have tunnel victory. Yes, I said tunnel victory. Were you waiting for me to say tunnel vision? No, you have to have tunnel victory. What do you mean by that, Kat? I've never heard of that. Tunnel victory is where you are singularly focused on the victory of helping your community. You have got to be so ingrained and so determined to help them get the transformational change that they are looking for, that you have tunnel victory. That victory in their lives is the only thing that you will settle for. Your people have to know that you are dedicated to their success and dedicated to their transformational change. Well, how do you show that? How do I show, Kat, that I have tunnel victory for them? That means that when you come on live and you come into your community, they've got to see your passion. They have to see your heart and your soul. That is going to require you to be somewhat transparent about why you're there. Don't forget to share with them why you're there, why you want to help them, what is your motivation, right? Help them to break down those barriers and show them that you are going to help them, come heck or high water, that you are going to be there for them, and that you are dedicated to their success. They are so used to people who give up on them. They are so used to people who are fly by night, who show up one day and then they're gone tomorrow. They see something about you that they're interested in. That's why they joined your community in the first place. But now you've got to show them that you have tunnel victory for them, that victory is the only outcome that you are looking for, and you are dedicated to helping them to get there. All right, so if you're wanting to know how do I convert my community into buyers, be vigilant and just be dead set determined that they will get victory in their lives. Okay, so that means that you have to show up. When you show up with energy, show up with passion, show them your heart and your soul so that they can see that you're really in it for them to win it. Okay, so that is number two, right? You are going to have tunnel victory. And if you agree with that, if you can see that, I want you to say amen. Give me an amen this morning. It is a Thursday. It is Three Things Thursday, and I'm giving you 3 things that you can do to convert your community into buyers, okay? And those of you all who are just now joining and you're new to me, I am Kat, the Course Builder. I teach coaches and experts how to teach what they know so they can watch their bank account grow and stop chasing one client at a time, because ain't nobody got time for that, all right? So now let's jump into number 3. I promised you 3 things that you can do right now. Thank you so much for your comments. I promise you that I will respond to your comments, your amens and all of that. Thank you all so much for doing that. All right. And so let's go ahead and jump into number 3. How do I convert my my community into buyers, Kat? Well, number 3 is this. Well, first, let me explain to you what the issue is. One of the issues that I see with so many coaches is that they are stuck in this this insidious pattern of needing to be perfect before they do anything, right? So you want everything to be just perfect. The title of your broadcast, your course, your this, your that, everything has to be perfect before you will move. And what that does is it keeps you stuck. And if you are stuck, your community will be stuck. And remember what I told you about a community of stagnation. All right. If you are stagnant and if you are not moving, your community will not move, because your community takes their cues from you. All right. That's right. From you. Motion attracts motion. Remember that. Motion attracts motion. So if you are in motion, your community will be in motion. And you want them in motion. You want them moving. You want them acting on the things and the suggestions that you are giving to them. And in order for them in order to cultivate a community and a culture of conversion, you have got to be in motion. Number 3 is that you have to take imperfect action. Take imperfect action. Okay? Thank you so much for your comments, you guys. I promise you I will answer your comments and all of that. The comments are coming in and you probably hear them. But so you want to take imperfect action. So don't be so caught up in it having to be perfect. All right. If you're one of those people, if you're one of my coaches who have to be perfect and you kind of suffer from that, say me. Say me. I'd love to see me in the comment. Listen, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Okay. So just acknowledge it. Let's deal with it. Right. So if you want to convert your community, you want your community to act on the things that you are asking them to do, you have to be in motion and take imperfect action. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if you are not really quite sure, I still want you to take action, all right? Because if you're anything like me, you grew up with your elders, your grandmamas, your aunties, everybody telling you that you have to move forward in excellence. If you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper, right? And we took that to heart. We really took that deep inside of our soul and said, oh my God, if I'm going to do this, I have to be the best. I have to be the best. And there's nothing wrong with moving in excellence. You should move in excellence, but it should not paralyze you to the point where you don't act and don't move. That is the quickest way to stagnate your community and keep them in the background instead of coming forward and getting the transformational change that they are looking for. Okay, so let's recap our 3 Things Thursday for today. I gave you 3 things that you can do to convert your community into buyers. Remember that we are cultivating a culture of conversion and not a culture of stagnation. The first thing that you're going to do is be socially curious. You're going to get into your community and mingle with the people, honey. Get out there and learn your people, talk to your people, invite them on and offline to communicate with you and have conversations so that you can understand where they are and how you can help them. That's number 1. Number 2, you are going to have tunnel victory. Tunnel victory. That means that you are dead set. You actually believe in your spirit and you believe in what you're doing, and you are showing your community that you are dedicated to their success by showing up and by giving them actionable steps that they can take to get those little victories in their own life. All right. I promise you, if you give them some action steps, help them to get those small victories, they will come to you to convert into those higher victories. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3, you are going to take imperfect action. We are not going to get stuck and paralyzed in inaction, okay? Because inaction breeds stagnation. We don't want to do that. We don't want to create that kind of culture because it is super hard to get out of a culture of stagnation. Once you've set that precedent, it's really, really hard for people to get out of it. So let's not let them get stagnant by you not getting stagnant. Remember that motion attracts motion. So I want you to be in motion. All right? Be in motion, you guys. All right, so this has been Kat the Course Builder, and if you are ready to be in motion yourself, I want you to join my community over on Facebook. All you have to do is go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/Teach Me Kat, all right? And that's Kat with a K. That's bit.ly/Teach Me Kat, and I will teach you how to build an amazing community online as well as offline. Build your community, one that is going to convert and buy your courses, all right? That's what we're doing. We are teaching 1 million people. That is our goal. That is our mission. Why? Because right now, right at this very moment, someone is privately praying that you will show up in their newsfeed and provide them with change and transformational action that they can take today to change their lives. All right? All right, you guys, it's time to get going. No more listening to me. It's time to take action. All right?